I, 25 male, was placed in the foster system by my biological parents when I was 2 years old. I was adopted sometime later by my real parents. I recognise that I'm fortunate to have been adopted before I had any real memory of the system, and that my parents gave me a better life than I would have ever had if I'd stayed with my biological parents. I grew up privileged, went to private schools, had holidays abroad, and had my tuition paid fully when I started university. I was loved and never lacked anything. I currently have a well-paying job as a chemical engineer, a beautiful wife, a house paid off entirely by my in-laws, and 2 children. I'm very grateful for everything I have and recognise that I would be leading a very different life had I not been adopted. Last year I was contacted by Opel, 27 female, who claimed I was her brother and wanted to meet up. After careful consideration I agreed. After doing a DNA test together and digging a bit into family history, Opel and I discovered that we were placed into foster care around the same time. Usually foster care will try to keep siblings together. Still, for some reason we were not registered as siblings. We were placed into different foster homes, probably due to having different dad's surname and being given up by different people. Opel got very upset by this discovery, even more so after she found out that while she was never adopted, I had lived a good life with loving parents. After the discovery, Opel started calling and asking to hang out with my parents and me, or asking me to do certain favours for her. It got uncomfortable really quick since, to be frank, I don't know her that well in all aspects except genetically. She's a total stranger to me. I don't feel comfortable lending her money or introducing her to my entire family. She even made a couple of comments that made me uneasy when she asked me if I thought my parents would have adopted her also, if they'd known she existed when I was adopted, and if I think they would accept her into the family now. Last night she called me again, this time to complain that she saw that the women in my family had a get-together over the weekend and felt excluded because she didn't get an invite. I told her that I understood that she was upset, but that was a family get-together for all the women, and she was not family to them, so she was not entitled to an invitation. Opel began screaming at me about how it was unfair and how, since I'm considered family, she should be considered too by extension, and that I owe it to her to make sure my family invites her next time, since it's the least I could do for her as someone who got adopted. I told her I was sorry she felt excluded and that she wasn't adopted, but neither my family nor I owed her anything, before hanging up the phone. Since then, I've been receiving non-stop texts calling me an idiot and an evil idiot. I'm starting to second-guess myself. Not the idiot, it's time to block her. You had no control over what happened to you as a 2-year-old, and you owe her nothing. I'm sorry she's jealous of your life and how fortunate you are. That has nothing to do with you. She can't decide she's part of your family just because she wants what you have. It's not your job to provide her with a family, money, favours, or whatever else she wants. I'd look at this as a learning experience. You tried to do something, but it didn't work out. End of story. End of contact, because if not, she will drain you like the emotional vampire she appears to be. It's not just an emotional vampire. This sounds like the plot of a thriller on Lifetime. I'd be very concerned. I don't think blocking her would be enough at this point. I would get the whole family restraining orders. OP, she's biologically related to you. She is, however, not related at all to your parents. They have every right to not have contact with her and definitely don't have to treat her as family. Agree, it's time to block your long-lost sister. Whatever issues she has are not yours to solve. She's looking for something you can't give. Sadly, she's had a tough life, but that isn't your problem, and it isn't your responsibility to fix it for her. You owe her nothing, but she feels otherwise. People like that are dangerous to have around, and you cannot reason with them. For starters, I'm a 19-year-old female and my boyfriend Nick is 18. We've been together for almost 4 months. Before him, I was in a really toxic relationship, resulting in major trauma and trust issues that still affect me today. With Nick, these problems have almost disappeared, but there are still moments when the problems come back. Recently, I started writing in my diary as a distraction, a reminder that the diary is in my phone because I don't trust anyone in my house thinking they'll find it and read it without my permission. One day, Nick and I were on a call and talking, but I was really upset because earlier we had a small fight. So I opened my notes app and started writing about how Nick had gotten on my nerves lately and how some fights have happened because of my trust issues and other stupid stuff. Nick heard the tap-tap from writing on my phone and said, "What have you been writing for so long?" I didn't want to say anything, so I said, "Oh, nothing, some things to remember." Eventually, though, I said that I was writing on my notes app and he said, "May I see?" I said, "No, sorry." Because of that, he started begging and crying, telling me that I was hiding stuff from him. I felt bad, and after about 30 minutes I told him what it was about, and he told me, "When you're feeling down for anything that's happening in your life, come straight to me. I don't care if it's something stupid, I just want to know so I know that you're not hiding something from me." Ultimately, he never saw the note or anything I've written in the past. So, am I the idiot? Jesus, not the idiot. Who does he think he is to demand to know about your own secrets? 4 months is nothing. This is so controlling and stupid. He has no right to be acting like that. If he can't trust you that much, what are you two doing together? Honey, you're in another toxic relationship. You are not the idiot, and I think you need to get out now before you get in too deep into this relationship and then use that hardcore diary to figure out why you keep getting into these toxic relationships. He started crying because you were writing something private. Girl, yikes. Privacy is important, including in relationships. What you write in your journal can be personal. There's nothing wrong with that, so he should respect it. It's natural to be curious, but upon hearing no, he should have simply respected it and left it there. You could benefit from taking a break from dating and learning how to trust again and build healthy relationships. My question is, why did she alert him to the fact that she was keeping a secret by creating the diary entry right in front of him? That's like walking up to someone and saying, "I've got a secret, but I promise not to tell you." I honestly don't think either of them is an idiot. They're both just teenagers. I, nearly adult male, literally just had a birthday on March 1st. I had my birthday dinner that Saturday, which was the 2nd. I was expecting my whole family to come, but instead my brother, 25, called to cancel to let me know that he couldn't come because his wife, 25, had a migraine. I was upset, but I expected it. This happens often whenever I have something special to me. I will give examples. My 8th grade graduation, my brother had to miss it due to her being too tired from work. My 9th grade award ceremony, my brother had to miss it because she was sick with the flu or something. My 15th birthday party, I really do not remember the excuse. 10th grade award ceremony, my brother had to miss it because they had a wedding to go to. My 16th birthday party, my brother had to miss it because her sister was in the hospital. My 17th birthday party, my brother had to miss it because she had a migraine. I can't really fault her for this, I guess. Those are valid excuses, but it just sucks that they all happen around the time of my birthday, or like something I'd want my family to come to. I don't even mind if she doesn't come. I just like it if my brother came. I'm just happy that my other family comes and supports me, which I love. Wednesday, my brother came by, gave me some money and a birthday card, apologised for missing my birthday again, and asked me if he could take me out to eat to apologise again for missing my birthday party. I'm not going to lie, if this was a one-time occurrence, I would have taken him up on the offer like I did the first and second times he missed my birthday, but this time I wasn't really feeling it, and I just told my brother that I appreciate his gift, but I was alright. He took it well, as I thought, but apparently he was hurt by my turning down the offer because my other brother, 21, and my dad came to me and asked me why I didn't want to go out with my brother this Saturday because he was hurt that I rejected his offer. I told them that he didn't seem hurt when I rejected it, but they told me that he was and felt really bad about missing my birthday. I told them it's really not that big of a deal and I'm not mad about it. I said he already got me something and I was happy. Cut to today, he called me again and asked if I was sure I didn't want to go out to eat today, and I told him I was sure. This time I could tell in his voice that he was actually sad about it. My dad told me he wants me to eat with him tomorrow so he doesn't feel bad. I told him he does this every year and I'm just used to it. I said I'd be surprised if he came to my graduation. My dad then told me that he felt like I was doing this to be petty and only trying to make my brother feel more guilty. My family is making me feel like I'm in the wrong for rejecting his offer, and I'm so confused. Not the idiot, because it seems really suspicious, like she doesn't want him there. The first time it stinks, but it's understandable. The second is an unlucky coincidence. The third time, it's a pattern. What did your family expect? Of course, you'll get used to it and think nothing of it when it keeps happening. Some of those excuses seemed fine for him to still go. Next time, ask if there is a backup plan if something happens to her again. Does your sister-in-law have any issues with you or anyone else in the family? She is clearly the issue, since all these issues just happen to hit whenever you have something important going on. You should rethink it and have a dinner with just you and him so you can let him know you're tired of being second chair to his wife throwing a wrench in stuff. From your examples, it's not your brother as much as his wife interjecting herself and your brother willingly allowing her to do so. He has to prioritize your relationship instead of popping out excuses. You are the idiot. 8th grade graduation? This isn't a real thing. Get over it. Random high school award ceremony? Like what? Who expects their grown-damn siblings with real-world stress and obligations, like their own family, to come to this nonsense? You sound entitled, OP. If your grown-man brother occasionally offers to spend one-on-one time with you, why does it matter if he doesn't come to your self-esteem sessions? Literally, nobody cares about your fake graduation from middle school. You're nearly an adult, but when you're grown up with a family and bills, you'll realize how dumb this inflated ego nonsense is. I, 19 male, live with my dad since my mom cheated on him with my uncle. Still see my uncle every few weeks, but only because he lives with my grandparents and I don't want to go no contact with them. My dad agrees, saying I should be stoic to the guy when I visit. Mom's no longer in the picture, having left my uncle for someone else. Haven't seen her for months now. My dad gave me a credit card last year, saying that I could use it for meals. I'm also allowed to buy one new book each week. Today, I bought The Maze Runner. Then I had lunch and went to my grandparents' house where, as usual, I ignored my uncle and talked to my grandparents. My uncle usually ignores me as well, but not today. He asked me why I wasted money buying the book when I already had the movie. Then he said my dad should have taught me better about money management. Then the guy also said that I'm too old for the book. I said the stuff listed in the title of the post. Didn't raise my voice at him or anything, just looked him right in the eyes and said it. My grandparents told me I didn't have to be rude to him and that he's still my elder. They said I should be polite to him for their sake, saying I should have greater self-control at my age. Not the idiot. Tell your grandparents that if their son had greater self-control at his age, maybe he wouldn't have slept with his brother's wife, and maybe he wouldn't still be living with his parents. Besides, the books are always better than the movies. This was my first thought. How do his grandparents not see their son's lack of self-control yet criticize the grandchild for asserting themselves in a measured response? Elder or not, you're 19 and have the right to express your feelings towards someone. You can tell someone you don't want their advice and tell someone not to talk to you. That's not being rude, it's establishing boundaries. Update, I went back to their place today. I told my grandparents I understand they don't want to see their grandson being hostile to their son, but then I reminded them that the guy betrayed my dad in the worst way possible, and that the guy who couldn't keep it in his pants and committed the terrible betrayal has no business criticizing my dad for anything. Then I looked at him and told him that I could manage money better than he could manage cheating. He looked pretty mad and called me insolent. I told him I didn't want any advice from a guy who slept with his brother's wife and still lived with his parents at 47 because he was too lazy to do his own laundry and cook his own meals. I have a teen daughter that I will call Kia. Kia is forgetful. Sometimes it's on purpose and other times she forgets. She doesn't have ADHD or anything like that. One example of her purposely being forgetful was when the school was allowing students to go out for food trucks. I gave her enough money to get food at the food trucks a few times. Kia ran out of money and kept forgetting her lunch and texting me to Venmo her cash so she wouldn't starve. I just brought her lunch and she gave up. I wasn't giving her money to eat at the food trucks every single day. Another time she forgot to grab the gift for her nephew. I put it on her phone and luckily we noticed before we got on the highway. So, in short, she does this often, and I can't get her to stop. If she forgets something by accident, I can never tell. It's like the boy called wolf situation. She's in a college chemistry class. They go to the campus for labs. You have to have the proper clothes to do the lab. Also, if you miss it without a real reason, you don't get a makeup day for the lab. They will not let you in the lab if you don't come in with the correct clothes. One of the rules is closed shoes. I had her tennis shoes right next to her backpack. I know she saw them and she knows the rules. She didn't wear them. Instead, she went to school with sandals. The teacher stopped her and she called me. She asked me to bring her shoes, but I was at work and told her no. She couldn't do the lab and she wasn't allowed to make it up. When she came home, we got into a huge argument. My side was everything above, and I was done with her forgetting things so she could do what she wanted. She admitted she wanted to wear the sandals, but told me her grade would take a big hit with a 0 in the lab. She thinks I'm a huge idiot. Am I? She purposely made this bed and it was a premeditated bed making. She can lay in it. You are not the idiot. Sometimes it takes tough love to get across to your kids to start taking ownership. Your daughter has a history of forgetting so that she can get what she wants, and you always end up paying the price. You're right to stop enabling this. She thinks I'm a huge idiot. That's okay. You're the parent, not the friend. If she wants to wear sandals but needs other shoes for her lab, she can throw them in her backpack. Time to sit down and brainstorm about how to manage her forgetfulness and intentionally plan and pack for her day. College students shouldn't be calling mommy to bail them out. She needs to learn this now. Something just clicked with me. Weaponized incompetence, but the weapon might be more of a wet noodle. Stop enabling her. Stop bringing her lunch too when she forgets. She's a teen, not 6. Let her go hungry for a day. She'll be fine, but I bet she won't forget her lunch again. She's old enough for a job. If she wants food truck money, she can go make it herself.